it's legal if you have a driving license and is over 15. It's like freedom.
I'm so much in love with this car, so it's going to be a very, very hard pain to sell it away.
So this is my first time being driven around by a 15-year-old. This is Arvidsjaur, a tiny town around 100 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle in Sweden. Famous for snow, car testing, winter driving experiences, and as I discovered, 15-year-old drivers. And this is me walking through Arvidsjaur discovering what -8 degrees feels like. So just me and mounds and mounds and mounds of snow all around. That's when I saw these cars with warning triangles on the back that made me curious. Well, turns out while you need to be 18 to drive a car in Sweden, you only need to be 15 to drive a tractor. Enter the EPA or the A-Tractor, cars that are modified and registered as tractors. Loophole vehicles that help Swedes as young as 15 get mobile.
My name is Albin Stornberg. I come from Arvidsjaur, Sweden, and I am 15 years old. And this is my EPA. I called it Nothing X.
The EPA tractor was born due to a wartime shortage in farm equipment. Trucks and any cars available, like the Volvo Duet, were converted into tractors for use on farms, and they found their way onto the roads as an inexpensive mode of transport. A-Tractors were the next generation of the EPA tractor, with a more comprehensive list of restrictions, like the fact that the tractors needed to be modified in a way that neither people nor goods could be transported in the back, which is why true EPA tractors feature a chopped-off or sealed-off rear cabin. They must also be modified so they can't go above speeds of 30 kilometers per hour by limiting the gears and the engine RPMs. They must have a reflective triangle at the back and must have an original frame and body, which is why the EPAs you see today come in all shapes and sizes. But before you get behind the wheel of an EPA, you've got to take a slightly strange driving test.
It's really weird. You do the driving exam on a two-wheel moped, and then you can just sit in a EPA and drive.
But not before your parents approve.
This in Swedish stands for dad's responsibility. Like.
And were your parents worried when you first started driving?
My dad, he ride with me the first day just to see everything is good. He can all the traffic rules and all like this. But after that, nothing.
The EPA tractors are about more than just getting from point A to point B. For Swedish kids, they're passion projects.
When I bought it, it was very, very, very bad condition. So I have been done everything good as new again. The floor was very, very rusty, so I fixed that, and the motor wasn't going so good, so I fixed that too. And I also has built it up like an EPA again, because before it was not like an EPA, it was just a trash car.
They're also a home away from home.
My plan was to get the interior have a good feeling about it. When you jump in, you're gonna be happy of it. I'm very happy how it looks inside. I'm kind of proud.
And they're a means to feel part of a community of car-obsessed teens, all of whom take pride in their EPAs, tricking them out with chrome, special paint, motifs and stickers. And they were more than happy to show me what made their tractors special.
I painted all this myself, and I put in a new stereo here. I glue it all together. I put this on as a skull. The wheel. It's very popular and hard to find.
I was also introduced to a very specific sort of music associated with EPA culture called
EPA dunk.
And it's usually played loud enough to make the snow dance. And according to the kids in Arvidsjaur, EPAs are great for your street cred.
Definitely, you get more friends with an EPA tractor.
You can get to know more people when you have a car like this.
But there's also the perspective of the designated driver.
Maybe sometimes you get used for having an EPA because they don't want to go out in the snow because it's too cold.
I suspect I'm guilty of that on some level, although the kids up in Arvidsjaur didn't seem to mind chauffeuring a pesky old journalist around for the day. So Albin, am I the oldest passenger in your car?
No, I have older.
And well, this old passenger says these 15-year-olds certainly can drive. The roads are completely covered in snow. It's quite slippery, but Albin seems to be very confident with these weather conditions.
Yes.
All things considered, there's two sides to the EPA story. On the one hand, the kids love it.
Here you can drive wherever you want, but it goes slow, but yeah, you can go there.
And he's even talking about long distances covered at the slow pace of 30 kilometers an hour.
I'm going to school in PTO and it takes about 4 hours to come to PTO from Arvidsjaur because it's 120 kilometers.
Plus, in Arvidsjaur, where it's bitterly cold most of the year and there isn't too much public transport, EPA tractors make sense. But there's the other side of the coin, as these kids told me.
You have many crashes with EPA. Many teenagers, they are manipulating the car to go like 100 or 120 or something. So it's a lot of accidents. And the government knows that.
There are repercussions though.
You can get in trouble, but yeah, you can lose your driving license and you get a fine.
Which is why a lot of people believe that EPAs might not survive much longer.
You never know when they're gonna disappear. But I'm gonna remember my EPA time as very good.
Much like the rest of his friends in Arvidsjaur, who for now can still enjoy a driving experience unique to Sweden's teenagers. If you want more stories about car culture from around the world, subscribe to DW Rev.